Hi, y'all. Easy Slider here. Can a long distance relationship really work for older men? Well, you can go on the internet and you can find all kinds of answers, but come on now. What's the honest truth? I used to wonder about the truth in that age gap thing, with the younger woman and the older man. To me, it pretty much just seemed like a trick, and that way they could lure the older men to retire in their country and spend their money in their country. Well, today, we're going to find out the real truth. And we're going to talk about the age that we're referring to when we talk about older men. So, that'll come in a little while. I was thinking, some days you can be like 45 years old and you remember when you went to the top of the waterfall and the next day you woke up and you asked everybody, did anybody get the number of that truck that run over me? Don't tell me you hadn't felt that way. I know you have. As I say, the truth and nothing but the truth. I want to take a second to invite everyone that's not already part of our long-distance relationship family to join us. We tackle hard to find information as well as just plain have a good laugh about relationships every now and then, because we need that, don't we? So we need your help. So take a minute, join us, and be a part of our family. Thanks, y'all. Now, when I think about a long-distance relationship in the Philippines, my mind is drawn to Ponce de Leon and the Fountain of Youth. He came to Florida and he was looking for the Fountain of Youth, all right? In some ways, I think that men in a long-distance relationship in the Philippines may feel the same way that Ponce de Leon did. What are they looking for? Do they want to renew their youthful feeling or to have a younger partner? So maybe they were looking for the same thing. The question is, did they both find it? Or can they both find it? Well, for Ponce de Leon, I think it's out the window. It's gone. I don't think he found it. But can you really find the Fountain of Youth as an older man? Well, one thing for sure is they might want to, but in reality, can it really happen? Or is it just a scam? Do you think it's a reality? Or is it just a pipe dream? Most people I know do actually wish they could keep their youthful looks and the mobility that goes with youth. Now, the sad part is, though, that one morning you wake up and you look in the mirror and overnight something has happened. Your hair has changed. Now, you know what I mean? It's gone from the top of your head to the floor. Yeah, don't act like you don't know. Some of you know. And where did those wrinkles come from? They wasn't there yesterday. Well, better get it out of your mind. So at least go get the paper and read what's going on in the world. All right? Then you go outside and there's your paper. You go over there and you bend over to pick it up and your eyes open wide and you hear something snap in your back. It was a stick. Yeah, it was a stick. You stepped on a stick, right? Okay, if I stepped on a stick, why does it hurt so bad? Fact is, reality is not always a fun thing. You're going to find yourself alone, maybe feeling even worse. That's no good unless you just like being alone. Many men know their feelings and they don't like it. They think of their younger years and all of the things they could do before, and that's gone now. You don't know what I'm talking about, you older men. Your mind tells you can do something, and your body, it don't want to play that game. Well, in just a second, we're going to talk about what's considered old, so Don't go anywhere. Hang with me. If those kind of thoughts have been in your mind, maybe recently you've heard about other countries where the women are more kind and they're loving and they want to spend their time with older men. But as they say, buyer beware. Yeah. If you've been thinking about this along this line of thinking lately, it's possible you've heard about the Philippines. You know what they say, the women don't care about age. Yeah, right. They appreciate men that are older for a number of reasons. Yeah, they want to get your money. They're hard working. Oh, really? To them, their family is always first and number one in their life. That's not a bad thought. But how true is all of that bunk? I always hear about countries that encourage people to retire in their country, but my suspicion has always been that they want you to come to their country where you can spend your money and your retirement there. Good for them. Might be good for you too. I won't say it isn't. Now here's the problem. When you lay down at night alone, your mind starts to kind of drift away. And before you go to sleep, you're actually thinking about, are any of those things that I heard actually true? What would it feel like again to have a useful partner that understands your age and, wants to be with you and actually wants to share your life and do fun things with you? Sadly, though, that thought almost always runs neck and neck with you winning the lottery. What's your chances on that, big boy? Well, today we're going to find out, is it true or not? My actual introduction to the Philippines and the people that live there, it came in a way that I didn't expect. And actually, I'm not sure what I expected. When I consider a long-distance relationship, what was I thinking anyway? I skipped from country to country before I finally settled down on the Philippines. It didn't happen because I planned it. I didn't plan it that way. It was more of an accident, I'll be honest with you, all right? I began to hear things like the people were nice. The women actually like older men, things like that. My question to you is, should you just believe it because it's on the internet? I think not. And I think you know that. But, being an older man, too, has baggage. And that has to be considered. You can't just forget about things like that. Things like medical care, medical insurance, not being able to do as much as you could before, moving a lot slower. No, not me. I move real fast. Maybe not knowing the language or the culture. How about just being plain set in your ways, okay? You just like things like they are. Now, consider the other side of the coin. Or, as we can say, the younger girl. Does she like a slower life? Does she want to go with you to the doctor's office? Can she make sure the bills get paid? I bet you're thinking, Slider, if you totally fell off the wagon. After all, you can't do as much as you used to do, and paying bills, there's always a line for paying bills, and it's not like it's kind of more like it used to be here, where you had to go and pay something. You can't always do everything on the internet. Now, you have to you have to go to wherever this place is. Let's just use water, for example. You're going to pay your water bill. Well, you have to go there. Well, maybe she likes to dance. And you like more to sit. I think you can see my point. East meets west. Slow meets fast. So, what if you ask, how can you get to the bottom and know whether or not this is really true? Hold that thought. Hang on to it just a little bit longer. We're almost there. Now, a lot of men meet a foreigner online, a foreign woman online, and they don't know. Can it work? or is it just a scam? Maybe things are going good. If they're going bad, you already know it. It's not going to work with that particular woman. So taking your time and using common sense, that's going to tell you a lot. Now, if you haven't followed this channel before, and you haven't been looking at our videos, I encourage you to look at video number 57. That would be a real great start. In that video, we focus on how to spot a scammer. And they go right together. Learning how to not be scammed while you're trying to find somebody that's really right for you. Now, I'll leave a link in the description box, and under more, take the time to listen to that video. It could save you a lot of problems. Don't skip it. Don't skip it. I'm letting you know. But I said we wanted to be honest, so what's the best way to know if something is true or not? Really simple. All right, remember, I told you to hold the thought in your head. How do we find out? Okay, here's the answer. Take a vacation to the Philippines and meet in person. You might get a lot of new surprises when you're there, but it's going to answer some questions for you. Now, things that you should pay attention to when you get there is, does age matter to the girl you're talking to? What's her feelings about that? Talk to her about it. Do you feel comfortable with her and her family? Does everything feel right? Trust your feelings. It's a good idea to meet everyone and experience as much as you can. Now, be honest with her before you go and tell her you want to make sure this is right for you. And the only way to do that is to meet her and meet her family. She'll probably be pretty excited you want to meet her family. Most of them want that. Now, there's several key factors men overlook. So we're going to touch on them. The first one being, remember, you're a guest in their country, so be respectful. Go with an open mind. Don't expect everything there to be like it is here. Learn the laws pertaining to relationships and marriage so you stay out of trouble. They do have a couple of laws there that you need to know about, and you need to know about them. You really do. It could save you a lot of trouble. Now, we asked the question, what is old to them? And I guess probably I can best explain that question by telling you a little story. I was in Angeles City, Clark, and I was eating at my favorite place, which there was always a lot of Australian men eating there. And as usual, we'd get into conversation, just chatting. One day, one of the men asked me, would I like to see his girlfriend? And I said, sure. He pulled out his phone and he flipped through the pictures and he showed me her picture. I don't even have to say it. Of course she was beautiful. It was a picture of a very beautiful Asian girl. She looked to be around 28 years old. You never can tell, though. He went on to explain they had met online before he came to meet her. When he came, they got along great, and shortly after, I got to meet her. And I found out that she was a very loyal partner for him, and she really adored him, man. There was no doubt she was in love with this guy. In actuality, it was pretty heartwarming to me to see. And I asked him, how long have y'all been together? And she said, well over a year. And my next question was, do you have any regrets? And without hesitation, really quickly, she said, no, none. Now, you notice I didn't mention his age. He was 82. Yeah, 82. So, was this an isolated case? And the answer is nope. I saw it a lot. It seems now that all ages, the younger men and the older men, are enjoying the women from the Philippines. More younger men are being able to travel there and meet the women now than before. So everybody's kind of enjoying it. While I do admit it would not be right for all men, it seems to work well for a lot of men. Now, their cultures train them to appreciate the older generation. And you see that in their families all the time, how they respect the older people in their families. They show respect to the older members of their family, and they view them as knowledgeable and as important. And you see that how they're treated so well. Their family orientation plays a big part in their life, and it's easily seen in relationships that they develop. So the second question we asked was, can a long-distance relationship really work for older men? Now, to be honest, at first, I thought it was a sham. But for many, it's actually a part of normal, everyday life. Now, does that mean it's for everybody? No. But you'll know. Once you have time to spend time with her and you get to meet her and get to know her family, get to know her friends, and you take time to learn the laws. It don't take you a few minutes to learn them. And you'll find out that older men can find happiness in the Philippines with a Filipino. I admit, it's a concept that in the West that people can't understand or even believe. However, the world is not all like the United States. To your surprise, differences. Different cultures offer many different ways of life, and for sure, they don't fit every nationality. But for those that are adventurous and move with caution, it'll be a really new and exciting thing. And for older men, the answer is yes, it can work. So, get out of your chair, dust off those cobwebs, and find that adventure you always talked about and never did, and do it. Now, let's just slide on over and find the excitement in our life we had forgotten about, okay? Just do it.